how faithful the Dead Space remake seems so far. Is it fair to directly compare a game that's set to release in 2023 with one that came out in 2008? Usually, it wouldn't be. But with EA working to fully remake Dead Space here, we're willing to make an exception. Having had the opportunity to play the game, it's clear that the Dead Space remake will deliver big updates to old areas. EA has confirmed the PC system requirements for the Dead Space remake, and they are as follows. Minimum OS, Windows 10 64-bit plus. Processor, Ryzen 5 2600X, Core i5 8600. Memory, 16GB RAM. Graphics, AMD RX 5700, GTX 1070. DirectX, version 12. Storage, 50GB available space. Recommended OS, Windows 10 64-bit plus. Processor, Ryzen 5 5600X, Core i5 11600K. Memory, 16GB RAM. Graphics, Radeon RX 6700 XT, Geforce RTX 2070. DirectX, version 12. Storage, 50GB available space. Recent remakes include Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Demon's Souls, and most recently, The Last of Us Part 1. The original games are all beloved games in their own right, and fans praise the remakes for maintaining what kept the core experiences so strong. At the same time, they use modern gameplay, graphics, and audio to enhance the atmosphere, tension, world building, and storytelling. Dead Space appears to be handling this perfectly thus far, ensuring the original's core components are intact: setting, atmosphere, direction, sound, and improving upon them wherever possible. It highlights everything from the impressive lighting and volumetric effects, which bring new levels of atmosphere, to the USG Ishimura, to the overhauled combat mechanics and dismemberment systems. With the upcoming Dead Space remake, EA has set out to reimagine a classic. Senior producer Philippe Ducharme says that a key goal at Motive was to honor the legacy of the original game whilst pushing for key advancements. The core foundations will remain the same. However, we are making several enhancements to the experience to make it enticing for both new players and returning ones. As a result, the Dead Space remake will be expanded and enhanced. The story will tread a familiar path, but has been revised to better fit within the world, which came to encompass sequels and comic books. Major technological innovations have led to new assets, animations, and physics which weren't possible back in 2008, and sweeping reinventions have been made to the way you can move in zero-G and explore the USG Ishimura. Additionally, the combat system has been completely reimagined to make it more brutal and visceral, with Isaac Clarke able to literally peel skin from bone with the plasma cutter before engaging in a little strategic dismemberment. While the Dead Space remake is a faithful reimagining, Motive will be going off script. This will range from secondary characters being given a little screen time to overhauls of key gameplay sections and jump scares. It's interesting to see how the Dead Space remake can be both impressively faithful to the original game and be willing to diverge from it entirely, utilizing the new technology to properly immerse us in the horrors aboard the USG Ishimura. A great example is from Chapter 2, where Isaac must obtain higher security clearance off of a dead captain's rig. In the 2008 version of this sequence, his corpse is attacked by an infector, and we see him transform into a necromorph from behind glass. In Dead Space 2023, this transition will occur up close and personal, with Isaac having to deal with the dramatic real-time transformation immediately. It highlights everything from the impressive lighting and volumetric effects, which bring new levels of atmosphere to the USG Ishimura, to the overhauled combat mechanics and dismemberment systems. Rebuilt entirely on the Frostbite engine, Dead Space is able to take full advantage of modern tools to improve the game in every way possible from a technological standpoint. textures, lighting, and animation are improved dramatically, as is to be expected. Features like ray tracing, volumetric effects, and 3D audio enhance the sense of immersion and help the USG Ishimura come to life. Additionally, one of the most impactful technological advances gets rid of loading screens and allows persistent access to each level, providing an uninterrupted and immersive experience from beginning to end.